Today I'm going to deal with the topic of active and passive voice. This topic is applicable to all the classes from 7th to 12th, or I could say for the lifetime. Active voice is used when the subject is the doer of the action or the work is done in the sentence by the subject. For example, Hunter killed the tiger. Here, Hunter has himself killed the tiger. Hunter does the action of killing, so he is in active voice. He is himself active, so the sentence is in active voice. When the action is done by someone else and the subject is passive or just the receiver of the action, then the voice is said to be in passive voice. Passive could also be associated to sleepy or lazy or not doing anything. Passive voice in life is used to give commands or instructions officially. For example, smoking is prohibited here. Keep silence. Don't pluck flowers. Please note down these important points to change the active voice to passive or passive to active. First of all, we need to see what is the subject and what is the object in the sentence. For example, Hunter killed the tiger. Hunter is the subject and tiger is the object. Here we should also note that only transitive verbs which have an object after them can be changed into passive voice. Now, check the tense of the sentence. That is, what is the tense? Once you have checked the sentence, then you need to apply the rules from the chart. That which rule will apply? Accordingly, you will change it into the passive voice. Then, the next and the most important part is to interchange the place of subject and object. For example, Hunter killed the tiger is in active voice. Hunter is the subject, which will be replaced by the tiger, which is the object here when we are changing it into passive voice. For example, the tiger was killed by Hunter. Now, when you see the chart, be careful as to what is the tense of the sentence and which tense will be applicable to it. For example, Hunter kills the tiger. Here, kills is in simple present tense. Now when we are changing it into passive, it will become the tiger is killed by the hunter. Now the structure will be subject plus is mr plus third form of verb plus by object. Then when we come to the continuous tense, in present continuous tense, the structure will be subject plus is mr plus being plus third form of verb plus by object in passive voice. Now, when we come to the present perfect tense, I am discussing only the structure of the passive voice. So, the structure will be subject plus has have plus been plus third form of verb plus by object. In passive voice, usually all the verbs are changed to the third form of verb except in the continuous tense where being is used with the present and past continuous tense, whereas in the future tense we do not have a passive voice. Now, just for your convenience, let me also tell you that when we are talking about the perfect continuous tenses, be it a present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous or future perfect continuous, they cannot be changed into passive voice. So, now I am discussing the past tense. When we have the simple past tense, the simple past structure in the passive voice will be subject plus was verb plus third form of verb plus by object. Past continuous will have subject plus was verb plus being plus third form of verb plus by object. Past perfect will be subject plus had plus being plus third form of verb plus by object. Again, past perfect continuous cannot be changed into a passive voice. Now when we come to the future tense, it is almost similar to the present tense with only one thing as a change, that's after the subject we will have will or shall. Just observe. Simple future, what will be the structure? Subject plus will shall plus be plus third form of verb. In active voice, in passive voice, in future continuous we will not have any passive voice, and in future perfect we will have subject plus will shall plus have plus been plus third form of verb plus by object. Again, future perfect continuous cannot be changed into passive voice. In interrogative sentences, if there is a single object or double object, I am telling you how they can be dealt with. Here, the interrogative sentence which ends in a question mark will end in the question mark even in the passive voice. Only with the differences that when we start with the questioning word in active voice, in passive voice we might start with by whom, etc. For example, if there is a single object in a sentence, who spilled the milk, the sentence will change into passive voice like by whom was the milk spilled. Now see the structure in the passive voice: by whom plus was verb plus subject plus third form of verb and ends in a question mark. When we are dealing with a double object in interrogative sentences, see how it is. For example, who teaches you grammar? Here we have two objects, you and grammar. So while changing into passive voice, we can focus on any one subject at a time. For example, if I take you first, then the sentence will change: by whom are you taught grammar? And what will be the structure? By whom plus is, am or are plus subject plus third form of verb plus object. If by chance we are taking grammar as a subject, then the sentence will change into passive as by whom is grammar taught to you. Then the structure would be by whom plus is-am-are plus third form of verb plus to object, and both the sentences will end into question mark. Now just see, either of the sentences could be written while writing in the exams. Writing both the sentences as option is not required. Till now we were discussing declarative and interrogative sentences. Now when we come to the imperative sentences, which is the most common form in which the passive sentences are written, let me tell you how it is used. First of all, whenever we have the sentence of imperative in active voice and we have to change it into passive voice, we prefer to start with let. For example, shut the door. How will it change? Let the door be shut. Now the structure here will be let plus subject plus be plus third form of verb plus object. Here I was talking about a single object. Then we may mention the object later on as by object, or we may not mention it as by object. It will always depend on the sentence. If imperative sentence has double object, for example, give me a glass of water. Here, me and glass of water are two objects. How will it change? If we take glass of water as the first subject, then it will be let a glass of water be given to me. And structure will be let plus subject plus be plus third form of verb plus to object. If I take me as the subject, then how it will be? Let I be given a glass of water. Now just see, I have used I have not said me, because if we say let me be given a glass of water, it is a wrong English. It should be let I be given a glass of water. And the structure is let plus subject plus be plus third form of verb plus object. There are some exceptions also. As I told you earlier that future continuous and present, past and future perfect continuous do not have passive voices. But in some cases, even these could be made into passive voice. For example, in future continuous tense, if I take an example in active voice, the laborer will be building a bridge. Then it can be changed into passive voice as a bridge will be being built by the laborers. And the structure is subject plus will shall plus be plus being plus third form of verb plus by object. We also have exception in the use of perfect continuous tenses. For example, in present perfect continuous, if there is an example, the laborer has been building the bridge, then it can also be changed into passive voice. Like the bridge has been being built by the laborer. Note down the structure: subject plus has have plus been plus being plus third form of verb plus by object. Now, if we are talking of the past perfect continuous, the example could be the laborer had been building a bridge. This also can be changed into passive voice. The bridge had been being built by the laborer. See the structure: subject plus had plus been plus being plus third form of verb plus by object. Future perfect continuous. Let's observe its example. The laborer will have been building a bridge. Again, it can also be changed into passive. A bridge will have been being built by the laborer. The structure is subject plus will shall plus have plus been plus being plus third form of verb plus by object.